Kia ora, good morning, good morning. um, I just, oh my God, I've got so much going on in my head at the moment. I'm so excited because it's like anyway, so I've been working on, we call it the VR experience. My boys are very big into their VR and that, and as someone who's about to step into making video games, I pay attention to what my boys and their friends are into. And so over about the last, I would say, year, definitely I'd say the last year, my sons and I have been working on what we call the VR experience. And it's going to be phenomenal. What I've done is I've come up with the concept, or I've come up with an idea for a game. Well, we have come up with an idea for a couple of experiences, but the one I'm about to talk about is my biorhythmic experience, where you're going to play the game and heal while you're doing it and not even know it. Because I'm going to infuse the game with biorhythmics. Now, I'm going to do it with my other games as well, like the Quantum Menace and the Soul Collector and, all that sort of thing. But biorhythmics will work better in VR because I will have better access to, the audio sensory and optical sensory sensations, which is really important. If I could only get smell in there, but never mind. So I'm going to biorhythmically infuse these games for the VR experience, and what it means is that if anyone is suffering from depression, paranormal activity, how like people with bipolar disorder have like manic episodes and that, it's going to calm them from the experiments that I've done on my candles. It's the effects of the biorhythms can start working within minutes to anywhere up to 2 days. Everybody I know, especially when they lit the candles that involved some sort of that resulted in some sort of release of dark energy, release it. I call them exorcisms, but it's like the release of burning leeches off the skin, putting salt on leeches so they drop off, or burning leeches. Yeah, that works pretty quick. You're drawing out somebody's dark side. Works pretty quick. So when you put this helmet on, you're going to play a game, and you're suddenly going to realize after a couple of days, like, I'm not losing my temper. I'm sleeping better. I've got more patience. And then any experience they have that is because of an ascension that they're going through, because all creative empaths are invited to ascend. It's just that most of them either turn to drugs or addictions, or they become depressed and suicidal, and that when they're in the underworld stage, when you go through your quote unquote dark night of the soul, most of them can't handle the pressure and then choose the easy way out. And we're losing our writers and our artists and our musicians and, our creative minds, the people who are God's vision, the visionaries of the gods of creation, and they're choosing to kill themselves, and they're choosing to run themselves into the ground and all that sort of thing. And something has to be done, because when we stop producing our Vivaldis and our Mozarts and our Freddie Mercury's and our Kurt Cobain's and our, whatever's, to George Michael, Michael Jackson. You know, we lose our creative minds to um, various career controlling attributes that are what's the word I'm looking for? Limited. People who were never able to reach their true potential because of something getting in the way of their progress. Most of them, die a lot younger than they're supposed to. And most of it will stem from unresolved childhood trauma, undiagnosed PTSD, or unrecognised rather PTSD, because you don't have to be diagnosed with it to know that it's there. Um, Past life karmic debt, past life traumas, that sort of thing. And I know how to work out the biorhythm. So as soon as they light the candle, as soon as they burn the oils, as soon as they put the VR helmet on, they won't need to take medication anymore. They won't need to go to unnecessary therapy and that, because it's all going to be drawn out and lifted from them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a Q&A section on my show, where the letters that are read out in the agony aunt column will be real ones. So anyone who has a question about what they're going through using our VR, using our games, if they're experiencing anything, they can write into the show, and I, as the character of Brehena Saithusa, the Grand Empress Fairy Godmother, will answer the question for them, and it will be a real answer to a real question. And then it encourages viewers to come and, watch my show. So, obviously this experience isn't going to be for anyone under the age of 18, because it is going to force you to go through like a death process. It's just that the way I'm going to do it, they're not even going to know they're on the river Styx, like it's going to be safe passage. As a high priestess, I know how to do it. I said that was a weird way to say do it, but I know how to do it to grant them safe passage to the underworld while they're releasing their demons and stuff. It's just a matter of trust and faith in me and what my boys and I are going to be producing within our company, which is why I won't give up. This is why I won't give up the fight. Whatever it is that Sumo Digital tried to do in the dark to stop my sons and I from helping employees like theirs, and I know that it goes on in their company, because I see the mental health packs that they hand out to people. I'll be able to take care of my staff. I'll know what to do. I liked the way Sumo took care of their staff with their mental health days and the little pick-me-up gift packs that they would send their staff. And it inspired me to, improve on that within my own plans for my own company. But it means that all my staff, they'll have their own candles and oils to burn. I will have biorhythmic infusion throughout my entire building of the foundation, absolutely. But all my staff will be given their own individual bottles of spray and candles and that, to use in and around their little cubicle within their private life, within their whatever. And then it means that, because I know it works on my neighbourhood, I know it can work within my foundation, there will be complete and utter calm, which means I should have fewer staff taking sick days and mental health days, if at all, and then they can just, any holidays that they don't have, that they haven't spent up, they can accrue it for with the rest of their holiday days. So yeah, so like I'm really determined to I can't believe I've been given this blessing of a lawyer, because now I'm going to be able to have access to um, the blood tests, and getting everything tested and checked out and backed up and looked up and interviewed. And there's so many people that are going to need to be interviewed. My lawyer's going to have to talk to a lot of people, because I've named a lot of people. But like I said, they at least won't have to trawl through evidence, because I've got it all there ready to go. All they have to do is click on links, because I've spent nearly 2 years doing my own investigation, so knowing this day was coming. But, I have good reason to not give up, and I have the most incredible support network. I couldn't have I couldn't have better people around me to keep me focused and driven and determined and strong. I finally get to stand on that podium and yeah, sing my song of freedom. So I'm going over everything in my head, making sure, right, that evidence is there, and that witness is there, and that person's contact details, and this is what I need to say, and this is what has to be done, and this is what needs to be looked up. Like, it's all there, all ready to go. Especially if we can access the place where I was locked up, there's CCTV cameras, because I have specific dates and times written down, that I want them to look up. Like the first time I was forced to medicate, when I stopped breathing and collapsed in the hallway, and I was told to get up for the sake of my own dignity, and I was choking. I had phlegm built up so thick in the back of my throat, I couldn't breathe in or out, because the phlegm was stuck in my throat, and I collapsed. I literally blacked out, so my brain shut off for a split second as I was hitting the floor. And the nurse Liam was, trying to minimise my fall. I fell in the hallway, between the doorway of my room and the hallway. And I made sure to put the date and timestamp down to check the CCTV to prove that I was telling the truth, and also dates and times of the office when we were being promised our phones being charged, and then we would get them back and they hadn't been charged at all, and had actually, further battery been run down, blah, blah, blah. Because they were some, not all of the staff members did it to punish the women in there, because they were very sadistic. So I wrote dates and times down on pieces of paper, so that I knew that when the day came when I would be able to stand trial to sing my song of freedom and justice, I would get my lawyer to look at, go back on the cameras and check to see what's going on. And now I'm going to have the opportunity to do all of that, because a lot like this matters to me, unlike my ex-husband, who is trying to destroy. He's trying to chop down the tree when it's a seed with me. He doesn't care. All he wants is power and money, power and money, power and money, and control. That's all he cares about. He doesn't like making video games. He has no love for video games. He doesn't play video games. He doesn't engage in it at all, which is why I'm into video games. because I got into it for my sons, because my sons love video games. We always knew video games was going to be our future somewhere. And he wouldn't engage with them other than occasionally a bit of Mario. So I started getting involved, and now it's turned into this. And my boys and I have spent the last few years, even during this trial by fire, even through all of this, we've spent the last few years almost every day working on the game, working on the game plan, working on the games, working on the apps, working on the ideas. Every day, working every day, which has been a great distraction for them over the last year and a half that they've had to witness their father trying to kill and destroy everything that they, along with their mother, have put in tens of thousands of hours trying to build up. He's trying to take it out from under us. He's trying to destroy his own children, and he's had the backing of other people in the games industry, employees, and all of that, helping him do it. And I can't have that. And I know they're bigger and tougher and stronger, and they're going to have the better lawyers and that sort of thing. But the lawyer I spoke to was absolutely spot on when she said, the one that said we're not a big enough firm to deal with a case like this. She said, I have no doubt when this goes to court you're going to win, but she said, I'm telling you now, this is going to be the trial of the century, because basically I'm being put on the stand to not only to defend the creative projects of my children against their own father and the company he works for, but I'm also defending the rights of anyone who has been victim blamed and shamed by the government for being victims of sexual and domestic abuse, and also especially for Indigenous people who have been denied their human rights simply because other people out there don't understand our culture, which is in the United Kingdom against the law, the Equality Act. The Equality Act, there's been so many violations in the UK law over here simply because that man decided to try and use the police force as his hired goons and thugs. And a lot of these police officers are walking into something that they had no business being involved in. You know, I really think they need an occult division here, because they have no clue. There's stuff going on under these people's noses and they don't have a clue. And then a lot of these police officers are walking into this thinking, oh, it's just a simple domestic violence case or sexual assault case, or in his case, stalking. I don't even know how that's possible. I don't drive. And I was thinking as well, my fob key, I live in a secured apartment building with alarms on it should I need it. The only way you can access my building is by the fob key, which should be the data for it should be collected somewhere. There should be something somewhere within that computer system that lets you know when that door is opened and closed. So if he said I was anywhere at any time, all the police have to do is look at how many times I've used my fob, compare it to the times and dates of CCTV footage, track my phone. In fact, all they have to do is track my phone and they'll see that I don't leave this apartment. But they can do it through the fob on my key, CCTV footage, and then I'll give them my bus pass, which will let them know exactly every time I've activated that key to go into town. They can check my phone records, they can check my internet history, they can check my emails, but they can do a ping back on my phone and they'll see I don't, my phone is my only source of contact with the outside world, which is one of the reasons why he'll be trying to get it taken from me. But now it means that I'll be able to do the same to him. So whatever it is he's claiming stalking, it's not stalking if you're looking up information on the internet that you have freely given. But now I've been able to prove the other way around, that it's actually the other way around. I have proof that it's actually me that was gang stalked and spied on, which is what I've been saying all along. And now the lawyer will be able to go through that second SIM card I found on my phone and basically go through all the evidence and interview all the witnesses and that the police didn't, including the person who sold me the weed and his partner. I gave the police all that information and nothing was done about it. We'll be able to get the weed checked. If if it vanished, I have a tiny little sample left that I've been keeping just in case the first one went missing. And now I can hand that all to the lawyer. So there'll be a lot of cross-referencing and checking to any allegations of accusations of stalking. And he's got CCTV. He's got a CCTV camera in his lounge. So his accusation of me breaking into his house, all he has to steal the passports that he stole from underneath my bed in my room when he was destroying my duvet. He actually got rid of my personal property to destroy it, and I have the evidence to prove it because I was sent an alert to say your room's been cleared out. And he was clean. He's trying to. Oh, it took me 3 days to clean the room because he was trying to get rid of the evidence of the cocaine, the duvet that he threw in the bin. He went into my room and destroyed personal property and went into my personal belongings to get the boys' passports out. And I noted that with the police, which I know under UK law, even living under the same room because he entered my room without my permission and went through my stuff, I know under UK law that's considered burglary or breaking and entering. So, yeah. So he's made all these accusations, and anything that he says about me coming near the house or going into his house, I will be able to back up with his own CCTV. I've stood in his kitchen to get some of my stuff, but I've never been told that I've never been allowed to go back there. I just choose not to. Anything that I needed to take to that house or remove from the house, I had to pick up at the door or the gate. I only went in once, and that was with my friend who was helping me get stuff out. But I was invited in, and I only stood at the door, and it was to remove stuff out, and I've never been told I can't go back there to get my stuff. He's got everything in the basement. He's got all my stuff in the basement, and he's put like a door at the front of the basement to stop me getting my stuff. But I've already said to the police, when I'm ready to go and get my stuff, can you give me an escort? And they said, yeah. So, I'm going to get my stuff when I get my boys. So we'll just clear it all out. And, yeah, so there's a lot going on and there's a lot to go through, but I'm keeping my head down and I'm plodding along because I've had so long to prepare for this fight, because I've had so long to prepare for the case, all I need to do is hand everything over to the police and the lawyer. So I don't need to worry about that. I already know what I'm going to say. I already know what I'm going to do. I already know. So that's taken care of. So now I just get to focus on what comes after and what I'm going to do with the money from the lawsuit. And, making these games, it's important to me because unlike every other games company, I actually care about what happens to my staff and their mental well-being on a level that runs deeper than just you know patting them on the back and saying they're there when they're feeling a bit down. My staff will be able to come and talk to me anytime they like. And I will be able to help them. I will be the perfect boss for the job, dealing with, the minds of creative geniuses. I'll know exactly what to do. So, I was saying to, my posse yesterday, I want to be a hands on boss. So when we start building this foundation, I want to be there with a hammer and nails and, painting walls and, knocking nails and door frames and taking tickets at the door and, all that sort of thing. Like, I want to be a hands on boss. So it's my creation and I want to be a part of it. And I want my staff to know that I'm a hands on person and I'm there with them in the trenches just like everybody else. So, and then watching everyone will inspire me even more to put it into, movies and the animations and the games and that. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. And this is why he's trying to stop me, because he knows that what my boys and I have created supersedes anything he's trying to do by a factor of about 1,000, because we've put physics and biorhythmics into it, and that's something he can't do. He can copy anything I make and call it whatever he wants, but none of anything he does will have biorhythmics and physics in it. Alchemy. He's not an alchemist. It's just ingredients. It's just, you know, stuff he's thrown together and thought that by putting them together it's going to mean something, and it doesn't work like that. You can copy everything I've made to the letter, but if you don't put the physics and biorhythmics in it, it's just a thing. And as I keep saying, the biorhythmics is in me. I'm the conduit for it. I'm the conduit and the conductor. So, whatever. So yeah, I've been working on that. I've been working on characters for the show and, thickening the story and just keep going everything in the back of my head. Where's that if I need to pull it up? Where did I put that if I need to bring it out? Getting the addresses ready of people they're going to need to contact, including the woman that I went to for help and advice about what to do, because my ex-husband was trying to have sex with me in my sleep all the time, trying to force himself on me when I was with my husband Martin. And I went to her and said to her, I don't know what to do. So I just recently pulled up her address again and sent that to the police. So now she can be interviewed, and yeah, so it's getting very exciting. So it's almost like I'm being forced to, not forced, but asked to go back on everything just to smooth out the edges, so that when the day comes when I get that email from the police to say, come in, we're getting you a lawyer, I can just walk in there and just hand the lawyer everything and go bloop. And yeah, lawsuit begins, media coverage, going to the news, because I'll ask my lawyer to contact the media, and we'll do it all that way, and the New Zealand Embassy, and let them know what's been done to Māori people. And I'll get the lawyer to do that, maybe even because I know I was told that I could actually hire a human rights lawyer to deal with all of this. So maybe this lawyer can help me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, the second I hand everything over, that's when legal proceedings will begin against everybody that backed him up in trying to stop my sons and I from creating games in a company that's going to heal the minds of the most broken geniuses in the world. And that's why I can't give up, and that's why I won't give up, because there's a lot of people and a lot of children in the future who are going to be relying on me to have their back. So come hell or high water, nothing and no one's going to stop me, because I stand in my truth and I do everything from a pure heart and with love. And I'm not going to be lied to, and I'm not going to be disrespected, and I'm not going to be lied about, and I'm not going to be stolen from, and I'm not going to tolerate anybody trying to tell my children that what they've been working for over the last few years meant nothing, because they're just children, because they're just my children. My children are being targeted because they're my children, but they're my children, and they've picked the wrong children to pick on because they're my children. And it is in bringing justice for my children that makes me stronger and more determined and more resilient and strengthened every day to bring them justice for what was done to their mother, because they're the ones that he uses to punish in order to punish me, and he's getting ready to do it again and using the Normanton police to do it, and that will be over my dead body. The accusations he's made against his own children will be over my dead body. So I'm looking forward to this day. I will hand everything to the lawyer, and then I will get the justice, because then I'll sue everyone that has done this to me and my sons. And as a result of that, I will then get to make my dating app and bring true love together, and I will be able to make my VR game and heal some broken minds and hearts. And I will be able to make my video games and my movies and my animated series and that based on my job and my career and my experiences in my entire life as a high priestess and gatekeeper and indigenous shaman, or witch doctor if you want to argue with the word what shaman means. Oh my god, I love him so much. um yeah, so it is my life woven into a universe of tales of triumphs and victories and battles, spiritually, mentally, physically, theologically, everything that we create at the Art of Foundation. The Art of Creation Foundation is all telling the story of life, death, birth, reincarnation, and karma, seen through the eyes of faith, folklore, mythology, religion, people's personal experiences, all woven into truth, truth and triumph, told through stories and video games and that. So my story becomes everybody else's story, and then my story will heal people. My story is literally going to heal people. So, I might be now a teeny tiny minuscule little fish in a massive ocean of sharks and stingrays. But if I just keep swimming, I'll get there eventually. And I've already started swimming, so now I just need to get this email, and it's like so begins the domino effect. And then at the end of it, I get my VR headset with my game that nobody in the world is going to be able to replicate. Nothing that we create will be able to be replicated by anybody else in the world. Even if they copied everything we did, like word for word. Incantation. That's what the word incantation means, word for word. So, um, it's all getting very exciting. So now I've closed that chapter, um, and I've begun writing a new book. So it's just, yeah, just got this last little thing. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Every time my phone pings, I jump to it thinking it's the email from the police that I'm expecting. And then I'm like, oh, because it's not, because it's like, oh, like an advert from Poundland or something. But yeah, I get so disappointed. Like it goes ping, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, oh. So, yeah, so I will keep you posted. But this is just giving you an idea of what we've been working on behind the scenes, what we're up to. And I'm so excited. We're going to make our talismans again. And, oh my God, I'm so excited. I just can't even begin to tell you. So I will keep you posted and let you know what's going on. And yeah, just stay tuned because it's about to get very interesting and most definitely very exciting.